here for you. You looking for one of the hottest podcasts out? We talk about relationships, trending topics, black culture, anything we want to talk about. So if you got a problem with it, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, we got a new...
If you got a problem with it, that's your problem, not ours.
Facts.
If you got a problem with it, that's your problem, not ours.
Heard that. We got a new guest. I don't know what's wrong with me.
What's going on? What's going on, peoples?
Ashanti Starlight?
Yes, sir.
Hey, shining bright. Let's go. You want to tell us about yourself, or you just want to get into it?
Of course. I mean, it'll just be real simple. So, for those that do not know me, I go by Ashanti Starlight. I do a lot of different things, and honestly, I probably do too many things because it's officially summertime. But in all sincerity, I am in a bubble, an entertainer, a model, actress, curator, hostess, runner, producer, executive assistant, whatever, maybe an astronaut tomorrow, I don't know, type deal. But that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you can help us save it for the Booth podcast, huh?
Of course. People been telling me that I should host my own podcast. I'm just like, yeah, that's probably one thing I don't want to do.
It is a lot of work. I would tell you that. So if you don't want to do it, you probably don't want to do it. But I feel like joining something and like adding to something that's already kind of rolling.
That's a lot more fun.
Right.
That's a lot more fun.
You don't got to take on as much responsibility. And I feel like a lot of creators are scared to do that. I don't know what it is, but it seems like
That sense of I have to do it on my own, or we can't collaborate with shit. We got to feel like it's ours and not we join something or somebody else's. But
it's a creative ego, I would say, because we all have like a certain amount of ego where we like do something that's like revolutionary or it's new and like, oh, this goes viral, like I want that to be like out my shit. But a lot of people be forgetting the ego blocks collaborations, and collaborations can make life a whole lot easier because I don't know everything and you don't know everything, but I'm pretty sure you know more than I do in a certain degree. Same thing vice versa. But the ego began in people's way, especially when it's like they try to get equipment, get themselves together, and 99.9% of the time, they won't know themselves well enough where it's like, oh, yeah, I don't know, like, all this equipment here, like, I'm a photographer, too, so, like, I know that camera, but putting all this stuff together, I'm like, yeah, no, that.
We know what to do with it.
I know.
That's why he produced. I would hire
someone to do it.
Because I wouldn't know what to do with it. That's why he produced.
I'm just like, look, I know my strengths. That ain't it. That ain't it. Okay. But I digress.
But it's a good thing, like, when you can know what's not your strength and be able to collaborate with somebody that has that strength, and then y'all can actually, create something special. Because to me, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Like, nobody is all knowing. You got what you know. Dude's got what he know. Like, everybody got their thing, but together, it's always greater.
Yeah, but it's still that ego where someone's gonna have to take the credit for it, right?
Who cares? Like, if we all successful, what does it matter? Like, what does it matter? I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I feel you. I do, but I will say it's always a situation. It happens every time. This is why, when it comes to entrepreneurs and creatives in the space, no matter how amazing y'all work together, and it could be a great team. Not denying that it can't happen, but every single time it comes down to like, oh, when we have a gig, is there an equal split? Oh no, this is all my equipment. I'm doing all the work, so I should get more benefit. Well, I'm hosting, I'm running, and I put in some work too. Like I should get some of that benefit. There's always that. Someone got to take the credit for it.
I agree. Because like you said, people want the credit. I think a lot of times people can't see the bigger picture, right?
Of course.
I have people that like, all right, we have pretty like an open platform, right? If you're a cool individual, if you got something insightful to say. If you got like a take that you want to give, we're open to having guests on, right? But then we'll have guests that like will not want to come on because I guess we talk about certain topics, but like they still not seeing the value in it, right? They say, well, I want to do my own thing or this, that, and the other. But literally you can come onto our platform, talk about what you want to talk about.
Let you just speak your shit.
It's going to get edited. It's going to go out. I'm going to share it. I'm going to do all the work for you, essentially.
And free.
For free.
And you're an idiot
it's still an ego
otherwise.
there. Like, no, I want to do my own thing.
That's why that's what I'm talking about. It's just that creative ego. See, I have let go creative ego because I'm a person that likes to work with other people. And, I can have, like, my 2 cents and everything. Like, anything I say or am in presence of, it's got to be valuable to me in the space. But at the end of the day, I'm like, things are, I'm a bigger picture type of person. Things are bigger than me, But at the end of the day, it's like, look. Like
Let's
you mentioned.
all get it.
Exactly. Let's just.
Exactly.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard, people.
I see you like you hosted the Urban Cafe.
Urban Cafe
on the east side. Over east
with it.
Yes.
Yeah, I be out here in the birds, man. I'm just like, I'm out here in the. Yeah. I'm like the signs are not green, they're blue. I'm just like, oh my goodness. I'm just
you in the burbs, but guess what? Guess what? I grew up on 80th and Coles over east. Okay, so. Yes.
So we come back home.
Yeah. I mean, just because we in the burbs now, was I supposed to be over east my whole life?
No,
I'm stay in that my whole life.
You have progressed and promoted yourself. But I will say this, like,
let's get into it.
When some people leave where they grew up, granted, I'm not gonna say I have a story, but like I never stayed in one spot. Right? So with people that I know who grew up in one place and they go elsewhere, sometimes they can either promote themselves and like, hey, I grew up here, I love my spot, so on and so forth. Or they'd be like, yeah, I was there. Yep.
Just there.
I'm not there now, but I was. Yeah. And that's nothing to do with what I'm doing now type
what
shit,
do you want them people to say? What would you rather them say?
Be proud of where you came from. Mm-hmm. Promote that. Like, it's not about where you start. It actually will promote you in the end as long as you keep going to where you're going to at the end. But
what if that place gave you no good, like it didn't bring you a lot of good? Like you don't feel like it contributed to your life in a positive way for the most part. Then they still should promote, like.
That's real. It builds character.
Like, it does build character, but at the same time, like, who wants to talk about the negative parts of their life? Like, and not saying you should forget where you come from, because hell no, like, but at the same time, some people had real rough upbringings, and I could understand them being like, I don't want to talk about, where I came from.
Yeah,
I came from, poverty, the slums, like. Nah, I don't really want to discuss this shit. It might trigger negative feelings in them. You know what I'm saying? That they don't want to go back to.
That's real. That's also why mental health is real, real important. But it's like I'm more on a surface level of like, granted, let's talk about over East Chicago real quick, right? So naturally, originally I'm from the near West Side, so I'm a West Sider at heart, right? Mm-hmm. So like, what the hell is a West Sider doing over East? That's the question I get all the time. And it's like, well, for one, I'm not a person who stays in one place. I've just been in multiple different places all my life. So when it comes to claiming Chicago as like my home or like, hey, I'm from Chicago, everyone always asks, oh, is that Chirac? Which side? So on and so forth. It's like, well, first off, Chicago's a big ass place depending on where you're going and where you want to do with it. But also too, there's different entities and different parts to it. So over East is like
its own thing.
It's its own entity, and some, like you mentioned, like it could bring up some memories and or triggers for people that don't. There's a reason why they left that area. Mm-hmm. But what I'm talking about is like, if you're originally from over east, not saying you don't have to be staying there your whole life. Not everyone has to grow, develop, and move in their own way that they see fit. But it's like you not mentioning and or hiding the fact that you're like, oh yeah, I'm from Chicago. Which part? South Side. Okay, which part of South Side? Because South Side is it's a big part of Chicago. Far south. Yeah, just real south.
Right off the lake.
Yeah, right by the lake. Yep. I
The
can
east
walk
side?
the lake.
From the east side?
Yeah. But anyway, and they go off to another subject. It's just like it all depends on the person, but it's like
Be proud enough to say I came from over east.
Yeah, and guess what? Like I said, at the end of the day, what won't upset you will promote you. So. Yeah, West Sider over East, Urban Lux Cafe, 79th and Exchange. Don't let the address fool you. And you know what's real funny too? For everyone that knows about 79th and Exchange, it's like every time I say that, people's like, the fuck you doing down there? Like wait, Exchange?
Right around the corner.
79th and Exchange? Wait, 79th. Mm-hmm. The 9. Yeah. What's it?
Shit, I'm thinking the same thing, and I grew up in the city. It was just certain places I didn't frequent growing up, and I still don't as an adult because
of the reputation.
Yeah, well, I put myself in a space where the possibility,
Yeah, for sure.
But then again, like we can't walk around like in fear of where we go either.
Exactly.
Type shit, so.
And also too, this ain't the same Chicago we knew like a good 15, 20 years ago either.
Is that good or bad though?
It depends.
Because 20 years ago, Chicago to me was like I could go outside, play in my neighborhood, wasn't really worried about a whole lot.
Depending on the neighborhood now.
If something was, I'm saying my neighborhood I grew up in, I guess what they call Hyde Park now, but.
Oh, yeah.
The people doing criminal stuff would come let us know criminal stuff is about to happen. Y'all need to go in the crib. Nah, I don't know if it's like that. Kids, people just
it's bad
shooting
and bougie now and expensive.
53rd Street, little down there in downtown Hyde Park, they call it. But where I grew up, it's still got its stuff going on. But it's, at the end of the day, like, I can't, at the end of the day, it's just, you still got to be proud of where you come from. Like, regardless, so.
Absolutely. It did, and that's why I had to because when you say, the burbs, like, people always assume, like, you from out, you one of them suburban people.
Nah.
Nope. Obese. Nope,
Man,
not that. See,
grew up in the middle
he's
of
bred.
No.
All right, he's prepared.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. But even us growing up, Punk, like, your mom didn't want you really coming over my house like that. I remember, like, your mom telling my... I won't say didn't want, but I remember
she wanted to make sure
the area
she wanted
security.
She wanted to make sure a nigga was in good hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, but my mama was like that with anybody. She need to talk to parents. She need to talk to because if nothing else, she want to make sure that I'm safe in the crib that I'm going to, regardless of us going outside or whatever else, because bad stuff happen everywhere. But am I gonna be safe in the crib, or is the person whose house I'm going to gonna got my best interest and gonna make sure that nothing happens? So I think it was more so that because of the neighborhood, it was like, let me make sure he gonna be straight when he go over there. But my mom ain't want me doing nothing in the back. She didn't want me going to the rink. Never let me go to the route. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But my mom didn't want me going to the rink either, but we was up in there.
We was in there.
So here's my question. Like,
shout out to Nana, because she had to convince my mama to let
She knew what was up.
Shit, I took the bus. My mom dropped me off sometimes. I took the bus sometimes.
Oh, you were one of those.
My mama definitely wouldn't let me take no bus nowhere. Like, not to them places. She was just like...
But okay, we Chicagoing us out for real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is that to say you wouldn't do a podcast at the Urban Lux Cafe?
It's
nah. What you mean? I'm
We're
not
just
personally
making
speaking. Like, I'm gonna go wherever I want to. Like, I don't. I ain't.
I'm just playing with you. Let's get into some topics here.
What you got for us? You ain't send me nothing this time, so you can't say I ain't look.
So
I like it like that though.
Hey, it's a. Have you guys heard about the protest that's supposed to be happening nationwide today?
Why?
Yeah.
Okay,
About
so
the Trump
About
shit?
yeah,
ice and everything.
okay, let me get y'all the details
Like that,
so the
that's
commenters
gonna be
can hush their
selfish.
mouth. Across the United States, thousands are taking part of coordinated protests known as No Kings, a nationwide day of defiance targeting President Trump's military parade in Washington, D.C., and broader concerns around authoritarianism and civil rights. They're also protesting the politicization of militarization of government power. So basically, you know that Trump had the National Guard come out
Yep. And the
against
Marines.
protests nationwide.
Yep.
So
All of this still circled around the ice stuff.
hold on, yes, okay.
It's
So
a part
let
of
me
it,
hold
yeah.
on. Let me give it all to you, so we get it all
Like, he
covered.
ain't done yet.
Many protests are explicitly in response to aggressive ICE raids, okay? Particularly those carried out this week in Los Angeles and other cities.
Like Chicago.
Right? Like Chicago. The question, hold up, before you go, Punk. I know you be ready to shoot. You be ready to shoot, Kobe.
I'm a shooter. I'm supposed to do.
You got 4 kids. You a shooter. We know.
I gave him that look to me. I'm a shooter. I'm like,
I was speaking basketball actually, but you know.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm
Yeah,
shooting.
that too.
Okay. I got you.
All right. Is it important for black people to not protest during these political times?
This is a great ass question. I was just talking about this yesterday. But before I get into it, I know you lock and loaded.
It's on you first. Go ahead.
On me?
Yep. It's your first time, ladies first.
Oh, I appreciate it. Such a great gentleman. Man,
try.
Shivery is not dead, y'all.
Let's see how she feels after this takedown display.
So here's my thing, right? So, well, first off, this is how democracy works. We knew the possibilities, and we're in the thick of it now. Sadly, all this stuff that's happening is not shocking, right? And it's horribly sad, and definitely it's fucked up in every single way possible. Now, when it comes to our people as black people, there's been a lot of different takes of like people that would say like that got nothing to really do with us. Why are we even getting involved? All that stuff.
I'm people.
That's that part. My take on it is, at the end of the day, no matter what you say, we have a common enemy.
Who is we?
Black people.
Black people have a common enemy with who?
I'm not gonna say specifically the government.
No,
but
I'm not asking who the enemy is. Who are the other people that's supposed to be our allies in this?
Well, I'll say like we're very much our own ally, and here's why. So,
but we're discussing us being in on their fight.
That's their fight.
The illegals.
We've been fighting.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Who's our allies? If we have a common enemy, that means we got allies. Who are our allies?
I never said the allies. I just said we just have a common enemy.
We ain't got a common enemy then. If we not allies in this, we don't have a common enemy. What you fighting ain't got nothing to do with my fight. So that ain't my enemy in this thing.
True. But
So
if
why
the
am
same
I
people
fighting
who
that
are
fight for
taking
you?
them out is still taking us out, that's not a common enemy either.
Taking us out in which way?
We could start with the military itself. Police brutality.
Yeah,
the
but
government.
that ain't what we talking about. We talking about ICE raids and stuff, and them getting.
It's more than
illegals out.
ICE raids. It's the military. You mean to tell me like even with all the stuff that's going on, like National Guard, the Marines, and all that stuff, they gotta look at us like nothing different. But yet that's doing
Why
this.
are
That's
they out?
because of all the stuff that's going on with ICE and all that. That's not.
They ain't got
that
nothing to do with me.
us.
Oh
Right.
yeah, then this ain't my fight. I ain't got nothing to
True.
do with it. Cause if I go to their country, they military gonna get me up out of there if I'm there too long, and
Why
they ain't
would you
gonna
go?
think about me.
Why don't you even go to the country?
I like why they here. That's like me asking that same question. Why they come to this country? 'Cause
Well,
they
let's
wanted to.
be honest.
If
No
I
one
go
owns this
vacation,
country. No one owns this country.
Who owns theirs? If I go vacation, I can't sit there for, you know what I'm saying? I got to come back to the crib at some point. They not letting me just sit there. And guess how they going to feel about me being over there when they government send me somewhere? They ain't going to give 2 fucks. So saying like this ain't my fight, and I'm not finna get involved in it because it ain't my fight. Because who
And
fight for us?
you're valid. You're valid.
Who fights for us?
I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're wrong. But here's the
All
thing,
our
though.
black, all our black issues. Who fight for us?
But that's true. That's true.
Go ahead.
That's true. So with that in mind, right? When I say common enemy, I'm not saying that we have allies. I'm saying like it's literally the same people. We've been fighting the same fight for over 200-300 freaking years at this point, right? It's just now like one either military, Trump doing all this shit, so on and so forth, abusing his power that we all knew that was gonna happen, so on and so forth. For us, ain't nothing fucking new, right? For them, they're dealing with all this shit. Here's the thing. They never been involved in shit like this before. We have been dealing with this shit for a long ass time. I'm not saying it's our fight. I'm not saying that. It still involves us though because we still live here. We're seeing this shit.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What make black people feel like we gotta be the superheroes to everybody else? Why everybody fight, we gotta fight it with them? Why do they call on us to fight with them?
I don't see it like that. I don't listen. I mean, here's the thing. I'm a product of immigrants, so by default, I have my own like little, I guess, take on the whole immigration stuff. That's my own personal take. That's not everyone's take. But here's the thing, though. We, as black people, I'm not. For one, everyone thinks that we're a fucking superhero, some shape, form, or fashion. I don't know if it's just like think like because we've been doing this shit, we just.
That's the point he was making.
Yeah, like literally, we just been doing this shit all this whole time. Like I said, I never said like it was wrong in any of this. And anything, I agree. The only thing is because we're so numb to fighting, because that's all we kind of deal with all the time. It's just shit is still happening in our backyards. I'm not saying to ignore it. It's not our fight. And it's kind of like, look, if it has nothing to do with you, let it be, right?
Because I gotta fight my fight. Mm-hmm. I gotta fight my family's fight.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want me to fight some other people fight that don't care about none of the fights I got going on.
Oh, that's facts.
What I'm tired.
We been tired.
So then asking
what's
me
new?
if I should be. What's new is asking me if I should go fight more for somebody that don't care about me. No.
I think that's how we always been though.
And that's the problem. Why? Why are we always jumping in everybody else fight and we sit and watch nobody fight for us?
Because no one's gonna fight for us.
Well, we watch them fight for everybody else. Because it's stuff we've been wanting, looking for, should have got that we ain't got yet. Mm-hmm. But they give other communities what they want. They create bills for other people, but then it's always we need to fight with them. Who's fighting for ours?
Nobody but us.
All right, so stop. I ain't got nothing for them.
Exactly.
I
said, you're never wrong.
And it's not an immigrant issue because nothing's wrong with immigrants.
Yeah.
But if you're not here legally, that's a problem. And I have no fight for you because you can be here legally. And then none of this will be a conversation. I'm not saying Trump right for the whatever mistakes he make when he sending people that's not illegal out and got to bring them back, all that. I ain't talking about that. But if you here illegally, just be legal. And then this ain't even a conversation to me. But everybody want to come here and do what they want to do and have no structure, follow no rules, and I can't go nowhere and do that. And then now it's fight for me to be able to have freedom. What? Ain't nobody fighting for me. So no, I'm tired. I ain't got it in me. I got too many battles I'm already fighting.
Facts.
So no.
And you know what sucks about this whole situation too? It's because no matter what issues are going on about, no matter what, it could be like, whatever, Elon Musk. It could be like Elon Musk has like a freaking starship and he's like, has a laser. He's like zapping people or whatever. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but I was like, random ass shit is just going on, okay? So I won't be surprised if shit like that happens, okay? But here's my thing though. My thing is protecting as in like myself, my family. The military is still never gonna see us as them. No one in the military is gonna do that. So the influx of their own residual coming through, that's what gives me fear.
But it's some of us in the military. So you saying even the one us that's in the military don't see us like us.
I can only pray because they are also under their own. They're in their own fight too. Everyone is in their own fight. And shout out to everyone who I know who is actually serving the military. I'm not saying that y'all the enemy or anything like that. I'm just more concerned about our own people here at home.
Yeah, but this ain't about. I mean, I don't feel like this about us.
It's not, but it still affects us. It's not about us, but it still affects us. Great example. A couple of days ago, going down Chicago, right? We had that big ass protest that was going on downtown. I was literally leaving the hospital from an appointment, right? Going to work. I parked my car, all that stuff. Again, it has nothing to do with me, but this is how it affects me. Because of all the stuff that's going on with protesting about ICE, I couldn't get to my car. They closed all the bridges down. Like, people are protesting, peacefully protesting, whatever it is it's called. I'm still getting things thrown at me, hits just to get to my car.
Thrown at you by who?
Unfortunately, the police.
The police were throwing things.
Mm-hmm. Because at this point, they're like in a tag of war where people are going against them and they're pushing back. Like they had their shields up. It's like that type of stuff that's going on. I'm simply just trying to. I'm just, excuse me, just moving to get to my car. But because one, I don't have a police uniform on. I'm not one of them. Two, by default, I'm black. I'm already I'm already not an ally. And three, I'm looking aggressive just moving through just to get to my car. It still affects me.
And
it has nothing to do with me, but it still affects me. It affects all of us. It has nothing to do with us, but it still affects us.
So hold on, because it affects us, then we should participate in the protest? Is that what you saying?
I am not saying that because, one, it's not our fight, like you mentioned before. The thing is, how can we deal with it if it still affects us to a great degree, though?
The same way we've been dealing with everything that still affects us, and we keep living, we keep doing life, because at the end of the day, life gonna go on.
Exactly.
But asking me to fight a battle that ain't mine just because it affects me, everything in the world affect me. Like at some point, you gotta be tired of fighting everybody battle. Every time somebody got an issue with the government, the first people they screaming to is black people.
Yep.
And that's insane. Like how much do y'all think we got to do? And it's not like y'all giving to us.
That part. Yeah.
Y'all not reciprocating that energy to us for us to keep giving. I ain't got no more to give. No, I ain't got it. I just ain't.
Punk, what about that part about like how Trump is using the military against peaceful protesters? Do you care about that part of it? Or?
I guess my only question is like using the military in what way? Having them out there?
Nah, like stopping the protesting. Like taking away the freedom to protest.
When you say that, like, are people going to jail for standing out there protesting? So all the people that was out there protesting been locked up, or because I'm asking
in LA, yeah.
All the people got locked up that were protesting.
A lot of people got hurt and locked up.
There was some videos of like protesters trying to leave a certain area, and they were trying to leave before the curfew, and then the police was stopping them from leaving. Like they surrounded them and said that they couldn't leave, and they waited till the curfew was passed so they can arrest them. It's been like incidents like that.
Petty shit.
It's exactly. Unfortunately,
shit I dealt with as a kid.
Unfortunately, that's I'm not gonna say.
Shit I dealt with as a kid.
Would you like to expound?
I'm just saying, we had a curfew growing up, and there's hella times the police done start talking to us and all come here and want to search us and all that, and then it's an issue because of curfew, or you know what I'm saying? Like this ain't.
New.
This shit don't be new to me. So it's like when you talk about it, it ain't
like,
new.
what
Y'all
else
experience
new?
something that I have to go through that I've been experiencing. Now you want me to jump in, but don't nobody care when I'm experiencing that. Like,
exactly.
I just ain't got it in me, bro. I just don't, because the shit that I've been through in life and that we have to deal with, nobody cares about it. So like asking me to overly care about something is like, it's just hard.
Not just that, yeah.
Reciprocation is a real thing. Like you can't expect people to keep putting out, and you don't put in, and then expect them to keep being able to put out. No,
Right.
At some point, you got to reciprocate. And if your struggles and what you going through is not enough for you to be like, damn, I've been bogus all this time, not fighting they fight and helping them, and you still don't want to do it, what's making me want to, like, what? What's making me want to do that? It's not.
It's not just that. It's just like let's go back to the education of civics, right? Like I said, none of this stuff is even surprising, more or less to us. Like we've been in the fight. But here's the thing, though. One is the practice of democracy, the election. Who actually voted? Let's start there. How did all this come about to the root of the issue, right? So what with the military, with them being in office, all the changes, so on and so forth, the cut in budget when it comes to the Department of Education, making it look like, you know, a regular WWE episode and shit and like that. So it's just like at the end of the day, and I say this with grace, but let's be honest, y'all got what y'all wanted. I'm not talking about the military, I'm not talking about the eyes, I'm not talking about all that stuff. Everything has a cause and effect. So
You saying the people that voted for Trump got what they wanted?
They got exactly what they wanted.
What was the other option?
The other option.
It was not this. It was. It
was the other option.
We have no idea what it was, right?
Wasn't it Kamala Harris?
What were the other options, though?
Move out the country. I mean, like, we got passports and stuff. I mean, look, there's always another option to deal with it for people who don't have the opportunity. The thing is, it's just now it's the game of survival. It's not even trying to thrive and live anymore.
That's been life my whole life. Game of survival.
But that's why you're not living either.
I am. I actually am right now.
Then you're not surviving, you're living.
My life
different.
has been surviving, though. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I had to get to a point, and guess who was helping with that?
You.
Like, none of that's, I don't know. I ain't got it in me.
But you're, no. I'm saying you're valid for that. Yeah.
We go through all these struggles on our own and all of that, and then it's like, oh, come save me. Yeah.
But you know what's real sad, though? We're so focused on surviving and living and fighting. We don't be celebrating ourselves, but yet a lot of people be celebrating other people, too. That's real sad.
Yeah, and I'm going to celebrate me.
As you should. Shit,
Happy Daddy's Day.
Father's Day weekend.
Happy Daddy's Day. I'm going to celebrate me.
I'm celebrating me.
All right, let me get us out of this serious ass topic here, and let's lighten it up a little bit, okay?
Uh-oh.
Look.
Is that as light as his outfit?
You said what?
It's gonna be as light as his outfit. He wearing all white. He even got you see his shoes? Look. He's all decked out.
Angel today.
You see those?
Hey.
He wearing the legend blue. I'm like, excuse me.
You know what he doing out here?
I'm
Happy
being
Father's
an
Day,
angel
sir.
all
Just don't
day.
be on the
Happy
field.
Father's Day.
Don't be
my
on the field.
boy.
I want you getting dirty.
Oh, nah, we
wearing
ain't
all
doing
that
that.
white.
He got a couple pairs, so
I
he
got
good.
it. I got one in the tuck. I got one in the tuck
That's
for
how
when
he
these
do.
get dirty.
That's how he do out here. Nah, let me stop playing.
I actually do though. These I got a pair
Yeah, I
of
know,
tuck
that's
for
what I
when these
said.
get messed up.
Man.
I was trying to save you. All right. Should your partner be your best friend, or is that a setup for disappointment?
Set up for disappointment.
Oh, expound.
Oh, definitely expand on that.
So your partner can't be everything to you. Like, they just can't. And then when you talk to your best friends, y'all have conversations that you might not want to have with your significant other. You might not need to have with them. You just need to have with your best friend. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not saying you and your significant other shouldn't be friends. Y'all shouldn't talk about a whole lot of stuff, but that notion that like you gotta be everything is exhausting.
Facts.
It's because when do you have space for yourself? You know, like that's how we lose being an individual, because your spouse is the person you wake up to, the person you go to bed to, which you supposed to. I'm not saying like, but then you want me to not talk to nobody else all day, but you not, you know what I'm saying? Like, at what point do you have your individualism?
But then what if your What if your significant other's best friend is the same gender as you and spend a lot of time with them? Would you have a problem with that?
No. When I met my wife, her best friend was a guy. Or, I don't care. That was your best friend before I knew you. Cool. I ain't saying you could meet some new dudes and be like, oh, this is my best friend. If I done met him and whatever, I feel like it ain't nothing, then cool. I really don't. That's like trust issues to me. When people start getting into that, it's like you got trust issues. And I know it ain't easy for men and women to be friends, like, because attraction is what it is, and regardless of how somebody look, the more you get to know a person, whatever else, like, if you're interested in them that way, attraction can build from getting to know them and the type of person they are, their character, whatever. So I get it. Like, it's hard to have, opposite sex best friends or whatever, but that's trust issues to me.
Ashanti, let me ask you directly. All right. Should your partner be your best friend, or is that a setup for disappointment?
I'm not gonna say I don't like the question, but I don't like the options of answers. And here's why.
Those are your options. So let's go.
So should it be the best friend, or is that recipe for disaster? Okay.
Or a setup for disappointment.
A setup for disappointment. I mean, couldn't it be both?
Yeah, it could be both.
It could be both.
Wait, what's the first option?
Your partner being your best friend.
Like,
or should your partner
be your best friend, or is it a recipe for disaster, or a setup for disaster?
For disappointment. Not disaster, but disappointment.
I say both, and here's why.
So you're saying they should be your best friend, and you're gonna be disappointed.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yep.
Actually,
sure.
That's pretty accurate.
Yep.
That actually is pretty accurate.
Well, let her give it. Let her give it. Let's go.
So this is why. So for one, when you first, I'll shout to your marriage, right? That is a very rare thing nowadays, anyway. That's why I shout that out personally. But let's get into it. So, having your significant other being your best friend. One, you're not gonna touch anything or even enter my temple without actually knowing me through and through. And as a woman, there's a thing with comes to masculinity. It means to protect, nurture, all that stuff. I don't want to be doing that with not saying a stranger, but more or less like a acquaintance or a colleague, Now, two, because of that person's got to know damn near everything about me, my strengths, my flaws, my fears, what makes me excited, what makes me mad, what makes me sad, the truth, everything. So for me, I live in this little, I'm going to say moral thing, but I have a 80-20 rule. So my 80-20 rule is, for one, when you're talking about individuality, right? I don't keep my individuality. I'm a free creative spirit. I am all over the place, as y'all can tell, So when it comes to me being tied down to somebody, it's like asking God to smoke. It's like it just doesn't happen, But here's the thing, though. A lot of people, I'm speaking from my own experience. A lot of men do not understand that. They want someone who's like either someone who's not really out here doing much, or someone who's like in corporate doing one thing and then coming home and having a structured
life. We want somebody that's not out here doing bodies. We don't care about all the other stuff you doing.
Facts. But also too, it comes with that also can go along with trust issues, all that stuff, so on and so forth. My 80-20 rule. The significant other can be the 80. They know me to a certain degree. I tell them not everything, because they don't need to know everything. Like if I'm mad at you, you really don't want to know what the fuck I really think about you at that point. You really don't want to know that.
But you could vent that to your best friend.
That's where the 20% comes in, right? So the 20% is for everything else, You can choose your partner. You choose the 80% all the time. You can, deal, chalk it up, live with, be happy with, so on and so forth. But again, you can't give that full 100. No one can deal with 100% of a person. No one can. I mean, except my Lord and Savior. And we the best of friends, right? But back to my point. That's why I have my 20% of my best friends or my real close friends. I'm like, look, this nigga, let me tell ya, and so on and so forth. Or be like, yo, look, like there's something I'm thinking about, and I gotta vent out to somebody, but I know I can't tell my significant other because he's gonna feel a certain type of way. You feel me? So the 80-20 rule, it could be your best friend, but it's gonna be a recipe for disaster. Not even up. It's a recipe for disaster because we know when you make something together, you know how it's gonna react. Exactly.
Unless it's it is. Unless you okay with your significant other having that space to do that, or y'all got some really really crazy relationship where y'all could talk about everything and nobody has no negative feelings at the end of it, and that's just not realistic.
That's not human.
It's not realistic. It's just not.
I don't want. It's like having that one couple that no one's friends with. That's lonely. You can't grow as an individual. A lot of people forget.
Hold on. So you said a couple that has they have no friends.
Yeah.
So they only have each other.
Yeah. And they look. If they literally just have themselves all the time. Yeah, I'm talking like all the time. Neither of them can grow as individuals. Their growth is tied to one another, and they're gonna be forever tied to a place by not going nowhere. People gonna be looking at them strange, like y'all ain't got no life. But hey, look, some people do have lives like that where they do and travel and they're happy.
Some
Shout
people
to y'all,
content in that space, and if you are,
that's great.
do your thing.
Write a book.
Look, can I ask you? Not really a personal question, but a general question. What has been your longest relationship?
My longest relationship was, actually, I gotta do the math on that. 6.5 years.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
6.5 years.
You a baby in a relationship thing.
I did say I was healthy now.
I'm talking shit.
Did y'all get married? Were y'all married?
Yeah, we ended up getting married. Well, engaged, married, and now divorced.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was just, I've been through, I guess, all the bumps in the road, more or less. But the thing is, for one, above all things, I was young, I'm still getting to know myself as an individual and all that stuff. And who I was a year before is definitely not the same person that is, growing up, so on and so forth. Life happened. Things happen where you have to adjust, change a little bit of mindset, so on and so forth. So
with a situation like that, you have to take some time to heal after getting divorced and stuff like that. So let me ask you this. Dating while you're in your healing phase, is that something you should be doing or a big no?
I say a big no. Because when you're healing, there's still things you're still trying to deal with yourself and outside forces. The only things you can really control in life is your action, your attitude, how you react to anything and or things and decisions you make. Now, when it comes to healing and dating, for me, I couldn't mix it because I was mixed up a lot of different stuff. Like I was hurt. I was hurt in multiple different ways, like emotional, physical, mental. And if you don't have much to give for yourself, you can't really give out, that's more than disrespecting yourself. It's disrespecting what other forces you want to, interests or some people that you may be interested in is like, as much as they will want to, comfort you and be there to a certain degree, I'm not exactly present. I'm still healing. You're not really there, and when you're not really present, you really can't be present for anyone else.
Punk, what you think? Dating while healing. Should you find love while you're still healing?
You threw the find love thing in that.
Okay, all right. Take it out. Take it out, goddamn it. Come on, man.
Yeah, you could date while you healing. Why not?
Ain't gonna be long term.
Well, she told you why not.
You said dating. You ain't say I was looking for my next whatever. You said dating. Like
I could date to get a quick meal, but that don't mean I'm be present.
Not even
a quick meal.
Not even like that. Like I still think we don't get that luxury. We can't date for a quick meal unless we taking ourselves out. But no, I think like dating people, it helps you learn about yourself. Even when you're going through the bad times, even when you're healing, like it lets you. I feel like you still learn about yourself, and you do get to see sometimes relationships will tear you all the way down.
Oh yeah,
You know,
for
and
sure.
there is still some good in meeting people or dating people and them seeing the good in you and telling you that and showing you that and letting you know so that you still can, know for yourself or get that appreciation that damn, like I am a dope person. I do still, and it's not like you don't get it from yourself because you should feel that way anyway, but relationships, like you said, you go through emotional damage, mental damage, physical like it's nothing wrong with getting poured into by other people, rather that's you dating your friends, yourself, however you get it. But I don't think it's nothing wrong with it as long as it's positivity and not you done jumped into some OBS, you know what I'm saying, or some BS,
Right.
and then is doing worse than what it should be. But I think you still can date and work on yourself at the same time.
Then what's the point of dating? I mean, if you're dating just to date, that's one thing. But most people date to marry and/or develop some type of relationship.
What most people you talking about?
I'm just
These
talking.
people be out here.
Like,
What?
look, I'll say this too, because I was also dating while I was healing too. For me, it wasn't the healthiest because it was like I feel like I partially did too soon, where
And that
I
could
wasn't
be a
really
thing.
present. And that's time is always a thing too.
Yeah.
Like I think if I just wait a little more, well, I mean a little bit more. I mean like after I kind of like process my shit, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm just good. I'm dope. Okay. And then I could go out to meet new people and all that stuff, so on and so forth.
And I definitely
Yeah.
think healing is like a long process. I don't think it happens like
Oh no, it's not.
like
It's a lifetime thing.
yeah, like I think you have to take time to yourself always before when you get out of something before you get into something else. But I don't think you got to be completely healed before you start dating. Like
Some people just don't know how to heal though. Some people think dating is healing.
that's maybe for them it works.
It's a distraction.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
It
exactly.
is.
It's
It
a
definitely
distraction.
could be a distraction.
That's why I'm
Absolutely.
like, one of the reasons why I say it's a big no, because like I have ADHD. I get easily distracted,
Are
And
relationships a distraction?
yeah, depending on the relationship, if it doesn't serve me or help me as an individual, and if it doesn't propel me forward, I'm not gonna be a good partner and/or in a relationship. That one, I'm not healed, and two, if I have a trajectory in life or a calling to do something, you're not gonna hold me down because I'm just not like that could be a distraction piece depending on what type of relationship it is. It was like, a fling or like a one night stand. I mean, I don't count if that's a relationship, but it's like, that's a itch on the back, whatever. I can move on. If it was like a long term exclusive relationship, it's like, wait, what are you trying to do in life? Like, yeah, I don't exactly like you cool and dating, but your lifestyle. Nah, I'm not about that. Nah, that's more than a distraction. That's just not me, But a lot of people don't know that about themselves yet to think that until they're in it, and then they're like, ooh, nah, this isn't what I really wanted. But you're already in the thick of it at that point.
Right.
Emotions are involved, memories are involved, time has passed, and so on and so forth. So, but relationships can be distracting depending on the type of person you are. It's when you're a real busy person, it's hard to tie someone down. You also have to be a busy person, But
Yeah.
I'm a busy ass person, so it's hard to tie my ass down. Respectfully,
Dudes think he's slick over there.
Yeah, no, but that's why I asked you though, like, what's the longest relationship you've been in? Because I could see a lot of men not being cool with like how you say you free, you know what I'm saying? You
Man,
doing
let me
multiple
tell
things, you
y'all.
going
Oh
with
my
the
God.
wind, you all of that. But let me just throw a random little topic at you.
Go for it.
Ashanti, I want to ask you this: are men intimidated by powerful women?
Yes.
Can you explain?
I would say they are. And granted, that's a general ass question. The real thing is insecure men are intimidated by powerful women. When men do not have a lot of things going for them in their own trajectory in life, and they supposedly have a friend or girlfriend or wife, whoever the case may be, who is in a very powerful position or doing a lot more than them, I'm not gonna say they could become jealous, but when there's nothing that they are going for themselves, keeping them not just occupied, if not growing themselves, they're gonna think otherwise. I'm like, oh, she's doing so much. What the fuck am I doing? Man, she's around all these people. Should I be with her? Oh, she's doing all this stuff. Yeah. I should do something. No, I should be with her. No, I don't. What are you actually doing? Nothing that's propelling yourself forward. See, if guys were specifically insecure guys, if they're focused on themselves to grow themselves, they wouldn't. That stuff won't even concern them. They'll actually promote it. Because at the end of the day, it's like, one, we're together. Anything you do, we do. Anything you do great, we do great. That's cool. You do what you need to do. I'll do what I need to do, and we'll chop it up later and make the power divide, whatever, divide and conquer. Versus, man, she's doing so much. I don't know what I should do. Should I go with her? Should I just,
So like he's a puppy, like he's a little puppy or something.
It could. It specifically insecure guys. Yeah, they could be a little bit of how should I put? It'll be like
But
they are an
the question
emotional
was, are
puppy.
men intimidated by powerful women?
And they can be.
Are insecure men.
They are, and they can be. But that's a. But
all right, Punk itching over here. Punk is
yeah. Let me. I'm
all.
gonna say I need to hear from a guy's perspective. Are men intimidated by powerful women?
No.
Why? Elaborate.
Why would we be? Like what? I mean, from my perspective, right? What reason would I have to be intimidated by a powerful woman? And if I don't want to deal with what you consider a powerful woman, maybe there are other reasons about that woman specifically than the fact that she has power. Mm-hmm. Because we often think like a person that have a nasty, bad attitude, and because they have power, it's, oh, you're intimidated by the power. No, I don't want to deal with your attitude.
So it's more of an attitude
I don't want to.
thing.
Yeah, like I don't want to deal with how nasty you act. You know what I'm saying? And then, and we had a guest come on the show, and she was like, right, because I make more money than you, and you feel like you gotta be the man. And that, first of all, I'm a man regardless of how much money you make. So yeah, I feel like I'm the man. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, that's what I am. Your money don't matter, but your attitude, thinking like that and acting like that, like, oh, I make the most money. Yeah, right. No, I don't want to deal with you. But that's not talked about, thought about, or whatever, because it's
not really attitude, it's ego. That's ego.
But that's whose ego?
The woman's ego.
Right, but we don't talk about the woman's ego. We talk about men have too big of an ego. A lot of
I can beg to differ.
You can, but a lot of that isn't talked about. So when the narrative of we intimidated by powerful women, no, I just don't want to deal with your attitude. Your power don't give you the right to have an attitude, a bad attitude. It don't.
Facts.
And I'm within my right not to want to deal with that. And it has nothing to do with how much money you make, what position you hold, what power you got. Because at the end of the day, none of that don't move me. Like nothing about and I mean, people say I'm wrong for feeling that way. Nothing about a woman's like. Not saying I don't want a woman that's educated, got goals, can provide for herself. All that is great.
Just like be respectful,
None of it moves me.
Nothing material.
At the end of the day, I got to do all of that for myself, regardless if I have you or not. I don't never get to be like, oh, I get to sit back and I want my woman to take care of me. I don't get that luxury. So none of that means nothing to me because I got to go out and get it and have my own to make sure that I'm going to be straight, regardless whether you around or not. So why am I concerned about whatever statue you got? And, I'm just not. For what?
See, you're a rare breed of men who has actually got through to a point of maturity. And with that in mind, there's not a lot of actual men out there, more or less. So to rephrase the question is more like insecure boys. Let me just twist that because
you gonna change the topic. I'll see.
It's more of insecure boys, and you know what? Like, look, I was on this podcast. I got flamed and all that stuff.
Before you start, so you saying out in this dating world, there's more insecure boys than men?
Yes.
Really? Okay,
yes.
Go ahead. Go with your story. All right.
The main reasons why I say that is because Because like I said, you are a rare breed of man who has gone through and has experienced matured to a level where you accept yourself as you are, you know your boundaries, you set those boundaries, and things don't align, then you move around and keep life moving, right? Boys don't know how to dissect that and keep things moving. They like to do childish stuff, and when it comes to being childish stuff, it's like having their ego talk as their main person now, right? So you're referring to earlier how powerful women can have these powerful egos, all that stuff, which is also, it can also be the case as well too, vice versa. The thing is, when it comes to boys who deal with women, and they can be girls in their own immaturity as well too, when they deal with someone else in a more superior and or authoritative power, that could bring jealousy, it could bring insecurities, or it could just come on as things that they probably have not dealt with and or running away from, where they, one, will have to face it, and two, more than likely, like any human being, we have to face something for the first time, you're not gonna do it right. You gotta fuck up, you know? The thing is, at least, and this is just from my own experience, boys like to carry themselves on and keep themselves attached because of the fact they feel like, oh, my life is gonna be better with you. I know I'll lose you, but I want you to be bounded to do this. I want you to be like this person, so on and so forth. Versus, you're doing all of that stuff that makes you you. Let me do what makes me me, and that's perfectly fine. The thing is, there's no conversation of like, oh, let's do something together or let's figure out a solution. I'm a woman that's like, I'd rather let a man lead. I am perfectly fine to let a man lead. I'd rather let a man lead than I lead him. I'd rather lead the kids than be led by a man who is supposed to be leading me in life. The only man that leads me is God, right? God and my Savior. So with that in mind, it's just like, there's just a lot more boys to go through because they haven't gone through their own stuff of really knowing themselves well enough to develop those type of conversations. But that's why you're a very, very rare man in this society.
Do you have a response? Or
Me?
I was gonna ask a quick question.
No, ask your question.
Ask your question.
In the dating, or just, I don't know if it's the dating world or whatever you see in society, do you see more grown women or do you see more little girls?
I would say I see a lot more little girls.
Okay.
I see a lot more little girls because
we ain't gotta argue about that.
a lot more little girls, and it's just like it's sad because it's based on influence. A lot of girls don't really take the time to know themselves, or are so focused on pleasing others by the way they should look and the way they should talk, or make sure they're aesthetically pleasing, things they should say, so on and so forth, to be liked and or admired, versus taking that time to really get to know themselves, to really understand how they should function in a world like this to get to their true calling. And I mean, granted, we all go through like, the who are we? Puberty. We go through like the ugly phase. Like even if you have locks, you go through like the ugly locking phase where it's like, hey, yo, I'm wearing that hat because my shit is not, absolutely not you. You there are some parts that you feel ashamed of, but the thing is, a lot of people carry those things, and when they carry those things, they feel like, oh, if that person is like that, I should be just like them. They compare themselves, and especially with girls, we're so susceptible to pleasing other people by the way our appearance is. Once upon a time, it's like, what it was like, is the slim waist thing still around? I think it is. I'm not a guy. I'm just going by what is shown on the feed. But it's like wherever it's on the feed, wherever it's making those likes, especially with social media.
The guys ain't got nothing to do with how y'all feel about y'all bodies. I'm just not believing that. I'm sorry. I'm just not.
Why you not believing that, Punk?
Cause we date all type of women, like all type of women.
I don't. Yeah,
I'm not talking about social media likes. I'm not talking about what y'all see on the internet and feel like all the men like and all of that. I'm saying actually walking through the world on a daily basis, you see all type of women with men. And I'm
All type of
every
women with all type of
man, every woman I've ever asked, has a man told you to go get your body changed? All of them say no. So I'm still trying to figure out where the men are the reason for all the body adjustments that women go through. If we not telling y'all to do it, stop blaming us for it. That's your own mental, your own self-conscious, your own insecurities of looking at whatever you looking at and seeing what you seeing and saying, oh, they'll like this. That's what y'all are doing. It's not because no man is going saying, hey, I like you, but I need you to get a BBL first and then we could rock.
So you mean to tell me if there was anything that you would change just for your own amusement, or not your amusement, but your own aesthetic of a woman, you wouldn't say anything at all. You would just actually accept them as they are.
If I
and
chose that
leave it.
woman as she was, yes. Because why would I choose you if I wanted you to change things about yourself? I don't care if I look at it in a negative way, a bad is you're not gonna like everything about nobody. So if I accepted you for you, yes, I'm gonna love all of you, the good, bad, ugly, different, all of it. It because I chose you. I knew you had whatever you had going on. I knew that, and I still chose you. So no, I'm not gonna later come back like, hey, you need to go change your body. No. Do
y'all idea.
exactly. It don't be it don't be us. We don't be coming out, baby. You want to go get surgery?
So you granted, you are a man.
Asked you to get surgery?
Oh yeah.
Really? Can you expound? I don't want to get.
That's interesting. First time I ever heard that.
Oh really?
Seriously, first time I ever heard that.
What did they ask you to get?
So it was a couple things actually. And it was from a couple guys too. They wanted different things. One guy told me,
Black man?
yeah. Unfortunately, I love my black man too. I love my black man too. So it's just like, you know, it hurts because it's like, oh, it's just like you say, you're not gonna like everything about everybody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like 3 cases, right? One guy asked me, hey, you should go get your tummy tucked. And I was like, okay, why? He's like, you know, so you don't have to worry about, you know, you'll always have a flat stomach. And I was like, I still work out though.
That's not true.
I'm like, I work out. I go to the gym, but okay. I didn't go through it. That was a quick one and done. Another guy.
Was this a serious relationship or just a random kind of talking about?
We were. It's kind of like we were just becoming exclusive.
Okay.
Where we've been talking, like, you know, talk about like long-term things, lifestyle, because he was also a personal trainer. So I was actually quite shocked that as a personal trainer, you tell me to get tummy tuck.
Instead of showing me ways to do this naturally.
Exactly. That was like, that's
okay. So what was the next instance?
He was a goofball.
Oh, that's shit. Hear this one. Another guy told me I need to get a BBL.
Like that you were dating?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's funny is that first off, everything you see here is I was legit born this way, like everything. So I love my body. You know, I come to a point where I admire it, all that stuff, every single flaw, stretch mark, wherever the case may be. This guy tells me like, hey, you should get a BBL. And I'm like, okay, why? I always ask why because I'm always curious of like, why would you ask me a dumbass question like that? And he's like, well, you know, it's just, you know, long term as you get older, you know, everything's got to start sagging. It's best to get ahead of it now. So you're telling me you want me to implant something that's not natural with what's already pretty thick back there anyway to protect me for self-preservation? But he was really into asses. I don't know if it was just like a fetish or something. I don't know. But at that point, I was like, yeah, I think we should see other people. It was cool, but it was, you know, that was gonna last. And another guy told me, I don't know if this even counts, but he told me I should get a Botox on my face. I'm just like, Botox for what? First, I don't like needles. Let's be honest. I don't like needles for anything. But you tell me I need Botox on my face. Why? Well, yeah, and granted, this is during college. This is why I don't date med students. Well, I was reading and I had a class, right?
Don't let one
And
idiot mess it up for everybody else.
okay, well, let me rephrase it. This is why you don't date medical students who don't know exactly what they're wanting to do. Let me put emphasis on that. Because you're still young, you're still learning things, you're trying to figure out things, all that stuff. This is why. But he told me, he was like, hey, I had this class and I think I'm going into plastic surgery, and being that you can get Botox, you can look young forever. And when you look young forever, like you'll never sag, you never have wrinkles, all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm not saying I don't ever want wrinkles, but I'm coming from a Caribbean background. My grandmother's 87 going on 51. I think I'll be okay, you know?
Black don't crack.
It sure don't. So I was like, I don't want Botox. And he actually told me, he's like, well, you don't get Botox and we can't be together for long term. Okay.
Punk, you got anything else to say? Because
No.
this is our first time hearing it. Okay.
No.
All right.
Like, no bullshit. It was just out. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm actually shocked that you guys never actually heard it.
Never heard it.
Nope.
Man,
And I'm
look.
sure
Let me get some of my friends,
the
too.
comments
They
gonna
got
fight you on that
stories,
one.
too.
The
Sure.
comments gonna fight you on that one. They gonna say you lying.
Very
But
good.
let me get into my messy Bessie segment of the day, where I go to Punk's social media and see what he's been stirring up.
Oh, you stirred a pot?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He trying to lean to the side. Yes, you
Maybe
there.
not
Don't be
that
the.
one.
It's coming.
Look,
He
I'm
trying
reading.
to see what's coming.
I'm trying to get
Anyway.
ahead of this
Close
thing.
your eyes. Let it be surprised.
You want your husband to be the breadwinner and stay-at-home dad in the house. It's not possible. He'll resent you. You'll lose his respect. He will change, and it will be your fault. What gaslighting do we have here, sir?
Wow, what were you? What was going on with that?
Hey.
I think it's the truth. Like,
Okay. You want to expound on that, sir?
you see situations. So first of all, black. No.
I'm
look.
like, are you
One,
okay?
I gotta. Yeah.
Do you need some help?
I be having to get, it's Daddy Day weekend. I be on my shit all week because I got to talk about the good black fathers that I know. Because I'm only around great black dads, right?
Yes, sir.
Because
That
and you
take
also
care of
are
their
one.
kids.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to ain't shit deadbeat people. Like, that just ain't my thing. So I'm around a bunch of great dads, right? That do a whole lot with their kids. I'm also around a bunch of great men that take care of their households, you know what I'm saying, and pay the majority of the bills and shit like that. And I'm also around great men who do a lot in their households, and it's like, at some point, your man gonna get tired. And if you not helping enough, or what, and I don't know everybody's situation and whatever. I just look from the outside. I hear stories from all over the place, and I take these things and I get
And
on my
blast
BS. You know what I'm saying? And I get on my BS, right? But because
He's communicating. Look at that.
the way I see it is like, somebody is going through your struggle, right? I'll take the hit for people thinking it's my struggle. Cool, whatever. It don't even fucking matter. It's social media. Think what you want to. But there are people who are going through the struggle where they are great fathers that do a whole lot in the house, that go to work, bust their ass, pay the majority of the bills, if not all of them, and really take care of their family, all to be treated like shit in reality. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, your husband is gonna resent you for that at some point. When that man starts changing.
Now, Punk, when you say the word shit, I'll be wanting you to not say
not use that word.
and just be detailed. Treat it in what way? What do you mean? they face an attitude? Like, what is
Yes,
Be
like
treated poorly.
like they are treated poorly. Like you deal with attitude. As soon as you walking in the house, they want you doing like I work too. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as I walk in, you yelling out commands or whatever, like do this, do that. I need help with that. Let me sit back and chill for a second too.
decompress?
You know, let me have my space and my time to relax. Not putting out. You know what I'm saying? Like you laughing, that is a real thing, and it's like it can't be that way. Not if you got a good dude, because he gonna change. And then when he do, you gonna be saying he's the bad person that you wanted him to be to fit your narrative of I was a good woman. And the whole time you created that.
Ashanti, what do you think of his rant here? He's unloading. It's Father's Day weekend. He don't know what to do with himself.
This poor black father. He does so much, and that's the truth.
No,
That's the
black
truth.
father.
They-
It
y'all
is
do a
some
lot.
great black fathers
Yeah.
that do a lot. You know what I'm
agree.
saying?
I agree.
My bro that we do this pod thing, he do a lot with his daughter. Swim practices, pick up from school, all after getting off of work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no, I'm not saying like these his issues, and I'm just
Right,
saying
yeah,
like
yeah.
these the type of men I'm around. But then you see women that, in essence, mistreat them. And then think it's never supposed to be a reaction, and I'm just telling them what their reaction is gonna be, and it's because of your actions. Don't look at him in 5 years and say, "Oh, you just was an ain't shit person," and da 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 da. No, look at how you was treating me the past 10 years. That got me to that point.
So let me say this. So there's so much to say on that topic.
It is. Just give us what you want. We freestyling it right at this point.
So first and foremost, the only responsibility for each person to have for themselves in a relationship is their own happiness. I can't be in charge of your own happiness. If you're unhappy, then I can. What can I do with that? You know,
You talking about the woman or the man?
from a woman's perspective, if you are unhappy,
Who, the man? I never said the man was unhappy though.
I'm not saying that he was unhappy. I'm gonna say like from.
We not even talking about happiness. See,
Hold on. So, you go to work. You come back home. And you do all the household chores, you mow the lawn, do all the manly things that makes you an awesome man while also taking care of kids, which is also a great thing to do as a father and be present and all that stuff, right? And I'm not saying you're not supposed to not do that. That's awesome.
oh no, you absolutely should do all those things.
The thing is, as a woman, where can we blame for if if women mistreat guys like that? First off, they're not women.
Oh, okay. Right.
Let me start there.
I ain't say
Those
that.
are girls. Those are girls who want something short term, and I could be flamed for that, whatever case may be, because women will want to work with you and understand where they can assist or help, you know. And let's throw an example in there, right? As a woman, right? You work. Oh, your woman works all day, you know, and she can also be tired after work, you know. Is she gotta expect to come home after a long day, knowing that you had a long day? You're take care of the kids, doing all the housework and chores. You know, considering like she actually might want her feet rubbed. You know, she's like, look, I've had a long day too, but I also know your circumstance, right? Will she feel inclined to want to, one, give any type of intimacy after doing all that, knowing, one, you probably will feel like no, I deserve that shit. I did everything I was supposed to do, right? So here's my thing. So for one, that's a lot to dissect. Being a stay-at-home dad.
I never said stay at home.
Wait,
dad.
what's the rant?
Never said.
He said breadwinner.
No,
and
Wait.
he said
Yeah.
Being a breadwinner and
he
what
wanted
else?
to be a breadwinner and a stay-at-home dad and what else?
How you stay at home dad and a breadwinner?
Precisely, but you want us to go out work pay all the bills, come home clean, do all, you know what I'm saying? Like, still take kids to practices and all
I
that.
think
Like,
your thing is about the balance of it, right?
yes,
The
like
balance
it
of
had.
it. We
But
all got to do all of these
Right,
things.
like,
fuck
all
the
got-
balance. Fuck
we
the
all
balance.
Got,
No,
we all gotta deal with stuff.
nah, fuck the balance. I do all of this stuff and then you tell me no.
No to what?
It
though?
don't matter what it is. Like I
No
come,
to
I
what?
create a space for you to take off of your load, and I can't get sex. I spend all my money on bills, and it's an issue if I, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just, it's not okay.
So what
to
if the
the
woman
ex-
also works all day and all night?
Yeah.
Hey.
What if she do? I'm not sure. What's your question?
No, like so to your
If
point.
she wants sex, am I busting it open? Yes.
Even through all that,
Yes.
even though she worked all day.
Yes.
Then what's the problem?
The problem is if
Problem
she
is
ain't
one
doing
side
it,
is
that's
fucking
the
open and The other
problem.
side is that's the problem.
It's seriously like a I don't want to say a receipt. You just can't expect
it's a
somebody
reciprocal
to
thing?
do like a whole lot and then still treat them bad and think that it's gonna be okay.
So
It's not.
So, as a woman who does work a lot, I have multiple different jobs. I'm Jamaican by default. You know, if you don't know a Jamaican that has multiple different jobs, they're not really Jamaican. I'm sorry. So, for someone who works multiple different jobs, right, I'm not going to be at home at all. I'm not expecting my significant other to be at home at all. I want them to do what they do
What's at all?
wherever the job is. If you want to stay at home, by all means. If you want to work for whatever you want to work for, whatever career path you have,
At no point in this day do you come home and we get in the bed together and go to sleep.
more than likely I'll be the one coming back later because I have multiple jobs.
It don't matter what time you come home. That's not the issue.
But yeah, you're talking about like being the breadwinner.
You want sex when you come.
I want to be treated nice. I want
So you just
men.
wanna be
I
treated
want
nice.
men
Okay.
who do what they're supposed to do to be treated nice.
So what does that look like? What does that look
Talk
like?
to me nice. Give me the things that I need from you. Don't make me go a month without sex. Like,
Well, I'll be tired from
Man.
work.
all right, your husband will resent you. Your husband will change because you're
What if I-
too
what if I got,
tired
like,
from
what-
work.
What if I get like a sex doll to help him out with that? You can't say I didn't try.
What if he get another person to help him out with that?
Then that can be discussed.
Yeah, and you different because a lot of women ain't trying to discuss that.
I did say, I said discussion. I didn't say like I'm gonna not end it all. That can be discussed.
Yeah, discuss.
I didn't say you was gonna end it all. Right. A lot of women ain't like that. They ain't willing to let them be able to do what they need to do while they doing whatever it is that they doing. It's like, no, it's me.
Because the thing about women is that we try to understand. I'm a person that if there's an issue that comes about, I'm a person that likes to find whatever maybe not a quick, but whatever solution is available. Then let's do that. If that's what helps you, let me know if I can help out with that. Because I can't if there's already a problem with me not being able to do one, help out with wherever you need to either get off your chest or get out your system, whatever case may be. I'm not always gonna be available. Goes back to what I was saying about happiness, right? I'm not saying that sex is gonna always make you happy. It helps.
I'm not talking about happiness at all because I'm happy regardless of what you got going on, right? Because happiness is
So you
a
just want to
self
be
thing.
treated nice.
I want to be talked to nice, treated nice, with respect. And if I'm doing all this stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, why is there any issues with me? Why aren't you giving me, you know what I'm saying? Why do I gotta beg for sex? Why do I gotta ask you to talk nice to me? Why do I gotta tell you, damn, I just came home from work? Like, I stand up all day, as if you don't know these things. Because if you're my wife, you should know this, right? This ain't like we just started this thing. We married. So then to not do that or to cut it off at some point or slow it down at whatever point, your husband is gonna change.
So with that in mind, would the wife also feel kind of resentful being that, not saying it's a volunteer, I'm not saying that you're volunteering at all, but you're doing this expecting something out of it versus just doing it just to do it.
I never said that.
We're asking to be
we do
reciprocated,
what we
though.
do, right? But how long do we keep it's the same thing like we was talking about the Trump shit. We keep fighting and fighting for other people and nobody fight for us. How long do you expect that to happen?
And no one fights for black women. No one fights for black men. The only thing you should fight for is what's ever within the household.
So what I'm saying is, if I'm steady fighting and fighting and I'm doing and I'm doing and I'm doing, at what point do you think I get tired? Or I ain't got the right to get tired?
Oh, you got the right.
So at some point, all I'm
If
saying
you got the right, then
is,
just don't do it.
Punk, is
your
that
husband
communicated, though? Is it communicated?
I don't want to assume it's not. I'm assuming that people that, might have these issues, they communicate these things with their partner. Like, I'm going to assume there's communication instead of assuming that it's not. And yeah, that ain't my happiness. But if you my wife and I'm supposed to get these things from you, you don't want another woman talking nice to me. You don't want another woman pouring into me. You don't want me sleeping with another woman. But you're not doing those things. And it's not like I do what I'm supposed to get those things. You should be giving me that regardless.
I wonder how your answer would be if the roles were actually reversed.
The exact same.
Would it?
Because yes, I feel like
would you actually talk to me nice, being going to work or being a stay-at-home person as well too, doing all the chores of the house, taking care of the kids, doing all this, and you're still gonna talk to me nice after a long day of work you had?
I'm gonna rub your feet, whatever you need. Like, I'm gonna talk to you over nice. I understand you've been out in the world working. I don't even want you doing that anyway, but if you go do it, cool, I get it, because the world is a tough ass place. But when you come home, yeah, I'm gonna do all of that. Because if you done went and did all, and it ain't because you did it, it's just the shit that should happen anyway. But when we start forgetting stuff, leaving shit out, and then things start changing, and we start wondering, oh, my husband don't run bath water for me no more. Oh, my husband don't plan this no more. Oh, we ain't. It's never really looked at within, like, damn, I cut this off. He been asking me for this for a month, and I only did it one time. Or I've been talking to him like he ain't shit, yelling at him. Always, none of that is never thought about. It's just always looked at like, oh, you doing something different. You don't plan dates no more. You don't do this. You don't do that. But you ain't thinking about how your actions have made me change.
It sounds like you're doing this for something to be reciprocated versus doing it to do it.
No, I was doing it to do it.
Then why are you complaining about then? If you're doing,
you stop doing, I have to feed myself because you're not. So then I ain't got it to keep doing for you.
And
that's the thing.
What's the problem,
huh?
Then if you're doing it for yourself, and I don't have a problem with it.
No, I have the things you're supposed to be doing, the pouring into me, the talking to me nice, I gotta figure that out for me now. I ain't got time to figure out for you no more, because you not. That's the thing with. We like to say you doing it because of. If you got a glass, you can only pour so much out of that glass before it need pouring back into.
Right.
We ain't a fucking bottomless pit. Like, it's not like we don't run out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the expectation that we just be able
vice
to
versa too.
Absolutely, it does. Which is why I'm saying, if a woman doing all of that, she should be catered to and whatever else. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe so much in equality. Like, y'all don't.
Yeah, and that's what's up. And here's the thing, though. If it was on the other side, right, it'll be more of an expectation.
What would be an expectation?
To do all that, to cater and to.
You're saying if it was on the other side, like
the woman being like the go-getter, breadwinner, and coming home helping with domestic things,
and also still pouring into you, that'll be more of an expectation.
I think it's an expectation both ways. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it should be. Yeah, I think it should be. I'm not at all saying men shouldn't pour into their wife. I'm not saying that at all.
That's what I was looking
for. What I'm
for.
saying is when you got a good man that does all these things,
make sure you do stuff to keep that good man around. So you keep doing the things that he needs to do.
Because when you don't, he gonna resent you.
And the same for that.
He
good
gonna
woman.
change.
And that's same for that good woman.
It's Father's Day. We ain't talking about them. And he gonna change. And
okay.
it is what it is.
Okay, all right.
We always let y'all have
shoot.
y'all moments. Let us have ours.
Yeah, no doubt. That's true.
But no, that it do go both ways though.
Wait, I got a question. I got a question for like Father's Day though, because like I'll shout out my brother. He has a newborn, but she's about to be 4 months in a couple days.
Happy Father's Day.
It is his first Father's Day.
Yes, sir. That
Yeah.
first one feel,
Yeah, and shout out to my dad as well too for Father's Day. He's my shout out to all the fathers, all that stuff. But here's my question, right? Because you're talking about how it's your weekend, you got to do whatever you want. I asked my brother, I'm like, what do you want for Father's Day? And he's like, to do whatever I want outside of the house. And I'm just like, doesn't that defeat the purpose of Father's Day?
How?
So my question is, for Father's Day, being a celebration of a father, you don't want nothing. Do you not want to do anything with your children or responsibilities?
I do things with my children often. Like, you know what I'm saying? As a real father, as a real father that's in the household every day, I got kids coming to talk to me every day. I got stuff I'm doing for them. You know, like every day. Yes, I want to not deal with the same way mothers on Mother's Day weekend. They get to go to brunch and whatever else and not think about kids. Yes, I want the same thing. Why do we think men want their kids on Father's Day? Because it's that notion that they've been deadbeats and the only time they get them is Father's Day to put on a facade. I ain't got no facade.
Well,
I'm with
that's
my
their
kids
issue.
daily.
You are actual father.
So no, I don't want to deal with my kids unless I want to. Today, my little baby want to go to a basketball game with me. We gonna go. If when I leave here, he still want to go, we gonna go. And I'm gonna drop him back off at home, and I'm gonna ride with the rest of my day. You know what I'm saying? But that's because that's something I want to do with him if he wants to. You know what I'm saying? Go watch a basketball game because he like basketball. Cool. But outside of that, I want to do whatever the wind blow me. That's where I want to go.
I'm probably coming from a different type of womanhood, because while I've seen Mother's Day and Father's Day, first of all, my dad, I don't know if he's just, not saying he's ever bored, but he loves having us included in everything he does. That's what makes his Father's Day.
Yeah, that father happy on
that day.
Exactly.
Yeah, do whatever it is you want to do.
Mother's Day, my mom's like, man, listen, my mom, she did a wonderful job with all of us, right?
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah, well, I mean, shout out to all parents in general.
The ones that did good.
Yeah, so with that in mind, when I asked my mom what does she want for Mother's Day, I would expect that type of answer, like, I don't want to do nothing that involves y'all, because she does a lot. She's done everything. Same thing with my dad. My mom is like, you know what? As long as you guys just chill out with me, she's a real quality time person. Chill out with me and just don't break shit. Don't break anything.
She was like that when y'all was younger too, though. Okay.
It's like
age can play a difference.
It sure can. But that's what makes it curious. Cause I'm like, you're a father. My brother's a father. My brother's a father for the past, like, I'm not gonna say like the 4 months of her existence doesn't count. I'm talking pregnancy and everything like that. That does count as well too. But it's kind of your first Father's Day. I'm like, you know what? Anything to do with your newborn? At least give me some couple.
Man, like what? He wants some free time to himself because you deal with that every day.
And what we gets free time in general anyway.
However you want to spend it, it's your day. Spend it how you want it. Your weekend.
And that's what I asked. Like, I'm not a parent by any means. I was just curious. I was like, look, it's like y'all have. Well, first off, for fathers, y'all deserve more than just a day. Let me just say that. Y'all deserve more than just like a holiday or a day. That should be a lifestyle. But it's like not being around your kids for a day or your family. It's kind of like, what you want to do all day? Watch football. I'm like, it's not the
if
point
it was
of
on
Father's Day.
No. The point of Father's Day is to celebrate fathers, not to be with your kids. It's Father's Day to celebrate fathers.
And same thing for mothers too.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't see that around often. Mothers are usually with their,
if that's what
with
they
their families
choose
anyway.
to do.
But yeah.
Right, that's because that's what they want.
They want to do,
that
yeah.
day. But the father, us as fathers, gonna say, baby, what you want to do? You want free time? You want what you want. You want to go this. You want to go. You can be by yourself. You can be with us. Whatever you want
Father's
to
Day
do.
is like a reset day for y'all, huh?
Whatever you want to do. That's every damn weekend. Whatever you want to do. Shit, man. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up here in a second, but we're going to do I'm going to have you pick between the topic, right? And we're going to cover that, okay?
All right, what are you saying all shit for?
So I'm going to say, is social media ruining trust between couples? That's one. Dating broke. Can love survive without money? That's two. And then what we want to do? Couples therapy. Why do black men avoid it? What y'all think?
We can talk about the therapy shit. That's
Couples
funny.
therapy. Yeah.
You want to talk about therapy? I've been talking about that all week.
I'm intrigued.
For some
Why
reason.
do black men avoid it? Why do y'all avoid it?
I don't know why we. Well, no, let me not say that. I think most black men avoid couples therapy because we think that the therapist is going to be female and our viewpoints aren't going to be looked at the same. Then you have the issues of, is the truth going to be told in therapy? You also have to know the person that you're going to therapy with, and if they never fold, therapy is going to seem pointless because they never wrong. So me going to therapy or us going to therapy is like, what's the point if you don't feel like the person is going to gain anything from it, right? Because if you're not honest with the therapist in the sessions, if you're not actually taking anything from it, if you don't think you're wrong, what is it going to help? And black men feel like we need to talk with someone who we identify with, and typically in no way, let me not say in no way, we have a very specific struggle. It's no one that can really talk to us about that struggle unless they go through that struggle. And I think sometimes black women think that black women can talk to us about our struggles, and you can't because you don't go through them.
Right.
Even in a relationship, like a black woman does not go through the same struggles as a black man in their own relationship. So for us to feel like, oh, I want to go to therapy and talk to 8 times out of 10 a woman, is just not what we're, It's just not.
That's not what you want to sign up for.
Nah.
What do you think about the perspective, or what do you think about the topic?
Well, for one, couples therapy. Well, first off, therapy itself can already be a intimidating step all by itself. So doing that as a couple, this notion that therapy is supposed to be unbiased and a safe space and all that stuff. Now, I'm not saying that it's not. I've been through individual therapy and couples therapy as well too. And to your point, that's very valid. Where and it's just not a one standpoint. It's just on both couples, both people. If both people let's be honest. If both people cannot be honest in a session, there's no point of therapy. It's just the truth of the matter, but some people could be afraid to find out that real truth as well too. That's not really I don't think it's really a male thing. It's more like an honesty thing, And you're completely right when it comes to I don't know the struggles of a black man. Not at all. You don't know the struggles of a black woman either. That's why it's very important to empower one another in whatever case, shape, form, or fashion that may look. The thing is, when it comes to black men, y'all have a lot of things y'all need to get through that I cannot see and or understand. I personally think black men need more therapy, not just couples therapy, just more therapy. And it doesn't have to even be therapy. It could be just being around more rounded men to help them understand what emotions and or things they're going through to help them better themselves anyway.
Thank you for saying that, because I was just having a debate with women on social media about that because they feel like therapy, 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 counseling. It's like,
That can only get you so far.
If black men are saying, I want to go talk to other black men or be around other black men doing positive things, no, they're not therapists, no, they're not psychologists.
That's pretty much therapy, though.
Thank you. But this outcry for, oh, you know, there's counselors that go through your struggle that are black men. There are therapists that are black men. What makes that therapist in your mind more qualified than my village? Is it because they have a degree? Is it because you subscribe to their thought process or what you think they'll tell me? Because why aren't you trusting me when I'm telling you I need to go talk to my village of black men that have been through what I'm going through, that have positive things going on, that have positive, maybe solutions, maybe not solutions, but, you know, that just have positive energy takes, thought processes that can help me. It's, no, you still need to go to therapy. No, I that don't mean that. It's the same. That is my therapy. You should trust that the men around me, if I'm telling you, you know, oh, I'm going to talk with whatever, that they are helping me. But you don't. It comes off to me like you don't trust my judgment on the type of therapy that I need because you feel like I need therapy your way.
I get that. I think it's more of not trusting the other outside forces, not really trusting you.
But you trust this therapist.
Credentials can make a difference. I'm not saying that is definitely the right choice either. But also at the same time, I'm a person that's like I'm extra frugal with it. If you can like find your help in something that's way cheaper, way more beneficial, by all means do that, you know?
Who do you think the credentials matter to most?
For me, credentials is based on experience. It's not based on a degree for me.
But you just said the credentials. So who cares about the credentials, men or women?
I guess it will depend. That's
why
I'll say this. Nah.
Women. Because we're not saying, oh, don't go talk to a therapist. Y'all are literally telling us, no, you should go see a therapist as opposed to talking to your village. That means you care more about the credentials than anything else because this person has whatever they have attached to their name.
I beg to differ. And I say that because, well, for one, therapists are people who are doctorate in whatever they do, right? So they're supposed to be the ones that know how to delegate, how to know everything, all that stuff, how to process, so on and so forth. Experience is the number one teacher of any type of life, right? And if someone else can talk about their experience and tell you, one, how not to fall into this pit or get blown up by this, so on and so forth, then do that. The thing is, a lot more women, I don't even think it's more of a women thing, it's just safer because it's there versus like, oh, well, I don't really know who you be hanging out with versus like, say for instance, like you introduce me to like, you know, your friends or your homies where they've done all this stuff, so on and so forth. Cool. That makes me comfortable to know like, hey, you're around a great group versus like, hey, like first, if you're sending a child to a school who wants to be a doctor, you want them to know everything, right? Or everything they possibly can. And in order to get anywhere, you're going to need credentials. Credentials is an easy, safe option. And that's probably why a lot more people go for whatever credentials they see because it's safer. But most things are safer. It's just not. It's not really more beneficial than, hey, look, we get into an argument and I'm like, I'm pissed at you. Like, oh, go talk to your homie real quick before I blast you, you know, or get your perspective somewhere else. And I say that with all my significant others and boyfriends I've had because, you know, I do therapy for myself. That's just like I choose to do for myself.
And there ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't think nothing wrong with therapy.
No, I'm not saying.
I don't think that.
And not by any means. I'm not getting that from you at all. I'm always been the person's like, hey, if there's something I'm trying to tell you and we get into it and you don't understand, I'm like, go talk to your homie. Go talk to your homie, because at the end of the day, no matter what appointment, and I'm not just saying therapy by any means. Mental health is a real thing. Go seek the help that you need. Most help that you can get, especially the most impactful, beneficial help, is within your own village. That's your people. They know you through and through, not through a credit card, not through the billing information that you get. It's just like they know you, so they're gonna have your best interest at heart by default, not by payment.
Right.
You know,
the by payment part. But the backlash that I was getting was like, they're gonna have a biased opinion.
Your homies gotta have a biased opinion of what they think of me. That don't mean like they gotta think or say anything different. You know.
And that's the part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has an opinion.
Exactly.
But if this is my best friends, people I look at like family, my brothers, whatever, whoever my village is, and I'm going to talk to them, they don't have bias when we talk about stuff. Tell me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. Tell me if I'm right. Let me know I could have did something different. Mm-hmm. My village does that. Yeah, and if my homie come to me and ask me what I think about something, I'm going to tell him, nah, you was wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? But,
right.
you know, and it is what it is, because we have to hold each other accountable. We got to tell each other when we mess up, because who else going to do it? I wouldn't expect a stranger to tell you messed up. You know?
And that's my thing. Be like, you're going to a whole therapist to tell you exactly what I told you, or more or less so your homies told you, who was keeping you accountable.
Because
now you have a whole like debt just
Punk. The good therapist gonna tell you when you messed up. The good therapist tell you when you messed up. They
I'm
be
not
like,
I'm not saying
oh,
they don't.
Your ass
right.
was dead wrong. This is how you could have handled it better. This is how it could have been prevented. And this is where it comes from, and this is why you reacted that way. So
I ain't saying they don't. What I'm saying is, trust me if I tell you my village does that.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
don't make me succumb to what you want.
Absolutely.
Like, let me know how to get myself together. It ain't gotta be your way. Just because I don't go talk to the person you want to talk to, or I don't do therapy the way you think it should be done, that don't mean it's not therapy for me, and that don't mean that it don't work for me.
Also, a lot of people don't have villages to go to. That's probably why the therapy is an actual safer option.
And if you need to go to therapy, do your thing. And if you ain't got a village like that, I feel bad for you. You know what I'm saying? And not like I'm trying to knock people that don't got a village, because I don't know everybody's struggle or reason why they don't, or what they've been through. But I feel like we all need that village that we know we can go to, talk to when things are rough, we get down, whatever we got going on, that we have a safe space, especially as nothing against black women, but black men, we definitely need that, because the options for that is few and far in between. Like, we don't have a lot. One, the world already know the numbers on good black men that's being productive and everything else ain't the greatest, right? So if I have that, allow that. And we definitely need more of it. We need to be honest with each other. We need to be able to talk to each other, because we go through the same struggles and fight all the time and don't talk about it with each other. Don't have those people that'll tell us the truth and be honest and say, nah, bro, you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go figure that out. You need to apologize. You was wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? But we need that, because if we not holding us accountable, how can we expect our wives to, our kids to? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we don't hold us accountable, ain't nobody else going to be able to hold us accountable.
Right.
All right. Episode 105.
But we ain't paying for Pookies and Ray Rays. Don't get it mixed up. Don't get that mixed up.
Yikes.
Any final thoughts?
Happy Daddy's Day to all the real fathers out there, the ones that ain't fuck y'all.
All right. Ashanti, any final thoughts?
Well, also happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day weekend. Y'all should be celebrated regardless of what's going on. But outside of that, it is National Caribbean Heritage Month. For those that don't know, I'm making it loud and proud. Granted, next week is also Juneteenth too. Our time to celebrate. We could definitely go on a tangent about that.
It's also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Oh yes, it is. And I'll keep that thought to myself. Yes. It is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Go
sure.
ahead. You got to take? You got a thought you want to share?
Well, let it out. This is where you let it out
This
at.
is what we here for.
This is where you let it out at.
So, it's June. May was also Mental Health Awareness Month. Why do men need their own month? And I'm not saying that y'all don't deserve it. I'm not saying that. I'm just curious. Like, we have one. If men get one, why don't women get one? When there's already one for men.
Fine.
I ain't got I don't create the holidays. That ain't my decision. Look, y'all create everything else. Create it. It seemed like a different. It seemed like a different month.
Okay, bet.
It seemed like a different month pop up every. Am I lying? This seemed like some shit get created every year. Something new we celebrating. So create it.
Y'all heard it. If I hear any stuff from him,
Pick a month.
You ain't gonna hit none. He missed the equality.
I am.
He missed the equality.
I'm all for it. You know?
Episode 105. Happy Father's Day, y'all.
Happy Father's Day.
Check it out. Peace out.